What's up, YouTube? YuGiOh Tube here, and we have another market watch. It has been so long since I've been able to upload one of these, and we are now in February 1st of 2019, and we're going to get right into this market watch. All vintage values, mostly PSA stuff, some high-end stuff. We have tons of tabs for you. Tons to talk about. So let's start with the DDS, YuGiOh DDS PSA, and this is also going to be a long video, guys, so if you don't have time, just keep in mind you might want to get the popcorn out or get dinner or whatever if this is your kind of TV. Anyways, YuGiOh DDS PSA, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we go to the sold listings, we see Salamandras sell for $20. Okay, a Blue Eyes PSA 10. We're seeing about $2,000. I mean, pretty consistently $2,000. Also, the Exodia is about $250, $200 to $250, and Dark Magician settling in at about, let's see, $350, yeah, $350, $360 or so. Also, the Ciariu, whatever you want to call it, that dragon is hitting about, I'd want to say, maybe $100, maybe a little bit more than that, but let's see. As you can see, the DDS prices are kind of stable. We haven't been seeing much volatility here. Pretty consistent pricing. A PSA 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon, $250. PSA 1 Poor. But we're seeing pretty consistent pricing here with the cards, all three. Nothing much to talk about here. But as we head into Starter Deck Kaiba, a lot more to talk about. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go to sold listings. Blue Eyes. Okay. And let's see what we got. So we have a PSA 8 selling for about $250. This is way up from what it was before. PSA 9s will set you back $600 plus. And let's see where that PSA 10 is here. A PSA 10. Record-breaking prices we're seeing. Okay, so you see 2.3K, but I'm really thinking, I mean, there hasn't been a sale. Yeah, so there has not been a sale in a long time. Now, here's the thing. This 2.3 or 2.4K could have been purchased and then refunded right away, or it could have been purchased via eBay message system, which means someone sends you a message and says, what's the lowest you'd go on this Blue Eyes? And he says, $2,000. And then he sends them an offer of $2,000 via eBay messages, and this guy gets this for $2,000, and it shows 2.399, okay? But let's keep in mind, a PSA 9 mint from PWCC, that just sold for $600. Okay, so I would be shocked if it was anything less than about 2 right now, believe it or not. And there's one for 2.6 PSA 10 gem mint. And even the Unlimiteds are causing some serious stir on the market. 175 is the cheapest you'll find for that. Okay, while we're at this, let's just look at some of the other prices. The Bandai. Okay, I know a lot of people don't really like this as much, but the Bandai Blue Eyes. We're seeing prices of $350 for a PSA 10. PSA 9, much more reasonable at $75. I think the 9s are a pretty good buy at $75, even if it's a 9. The Bandai stuff, very niche, but money could be made there, and they're very cool collector cards. Okay, so let's look on to DM, or the Dual Monsters promo. Let's see. So we're not seeing much here, just the standard Blue Eyes. And then we'll also look into the Ultimate Rare. So the DM, I mean, no one's paying $5,000 for that from Germany. Here's one for $90. And this was heavily used. As you can see, a lot going on here on the corners. Just terrible condition. I would put a value. I bought a PSA 10 of this. Not, oh, here's something. A PSA 9 for $199. Please read description. What is that? Green grade of mint. End product, PSA's discretion. So you kind of wonder here, what's going on with this card if they say read description. Maybe a little bit on that bottom corner. Okay. Well, PSA 9 for 200 is not that bad. I'd say a PSA 10 will set you back about 4 to 5. I think I paid a little over 4. Spoiler alert for mail day. For a DM Blue Eyes White Dragon. And let's just look up the SM Blue Eyes. That's the ultimate rare Blue Eyes. SM51. PSA 10, they want 1,000. Mint to near mint, 450. Well, that's pretty good, because that's near mint to excellent for 360. I would put a valuation on the ultimate rares. It's a tough call. I would put it close to 800 bucks. And then he says very good. Really good condition. Okay, so I don't know exactly what that's supposed to mean. I mean, it looks... Yeah, I mean, it looks great. A little bit of marking, but still, I think that was a good buy, whoever purchased this item. It looks pretty promising. Let's look at watchcount.com. 420. Okay. 420, everybody. It's almost 420 in a couple months. Anyways, so that's what I'd say. I'd say a 9 would be valued about 400. A 10, we're talking more like 800. Maybe. Alright? So that's what I'm seeing there. So we've got the Blue Eyes away. Actually, let's look at Cyberstein, okay? Because Cyberstein was a card that just got unbanned. And obviously, you could see here the PSA 10 Cyberstein. Oh, that's a 9, actually, Dave and Adams. They want 3.2 for a Cyberstein. So that's very expensive. Let's see if anything actually... Now, these are all Duelist, or Dark Beginning, I should say. Dark Beginning 2. Let's see if we have a sale of Cyberstein. No. Okay, well, here's the thing about this card. PSA 10 supposedly can be had for about $3,500 for a PSA 10 right now. So, take it as you will. There's a Beckett 10 as well from Dave and Adams. 5.2. I'd say 3.5 for a 10 right now is a pretty decent price. There is someone selling that, from what I hear. So take that into consideration. Pretty good price. The first prize card, a lot of people always covet the first of anything. The first ever prize card, not many in existence. Was a lot less, but there was an Upper Deck Day, I believe, in 2009. No, it wasn't 2000. It was 2004. I don't know the exact date, but an Upper Deck Day where they re-released this card into the public as prizes. So something to note. Very interesting. Still, PSA 10 3.5. Not a bad price. It was about 2.5 about a year ago. So it is up, but not that high, considering I think it could be 5+ in a few years. Okay. So that's Cyberstein. Coming up next, we just did some PSA searches. As you could see, Chaos Emperor Dragon, another card that was unbanned. Okay. And look at this number. PSA 9 just sold $290. For a PSA 9, this card is smoking hot. I mean, this card absolutely on fire. For any Invasion of Chaos Emperor Dragons, my goodness, has this price really skyrocketed. Okay, a PSA 10 just sold on PWCC for $750. Okay, that card should be $1,000 in a year. I would not be shocked. Not be shocked. Okay, coming up next, that's an unlimited, okay, we know this, Bubble Man's, Spellbinding Circle, Unlimited 10s, Harpy's Feather Duster, I think that's a little inflated, that price there. Harpy's Lady Sister's not a terrible buy at $112. I like Metal Raiders, I do like Metal Raiders a lot, the sealed product is going through the roof. 9 Ultimate Rare Cyber Twin Dragon, I don't get it. I mean, why not get the 10 at that point? And in these, are they legit sales? I doubt it. I really doubt it. $9.99, $9.99, $1,000, $1,000 for the 3 Sacred Beasts and Ultimate First. If someone did pay it, it's from Core TCG, or Card Rush. If someone did pay that, I mean, it's crazy to think. And this too, I mean, this isn't as bad. This is Horus, level 8, level 6, level 4, for $1,000. Still a hefty penny, because I think the 10 should sell for about 500 to 600 in level 8, and then level 6 and level 4. I mean, it's not a horrible overbuy, but it's still pretty expensive. Not horrible though. $1,000, pretty hefty though. I'd put that into something else. LOB. This was a good price. A 10 Maneater Bug First Edition. Let's just make sure that's English. Yes, it is not Asian English. It's English. $100. I mean, any LOB card as a 10, you can't beat it. Dark Sage. Let's just see. So let's go set by set, as we're already at 10 minutes. Let's look at LOB. All right, so let's see what we got for sold. PSA 10 Trihorn Dragon 830. Big money. Here's a PSA 8. That's American. Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's the glossy print. Let's see what that sold for. Oops. Why did that not take it? That sold for over $1,000. Okay, so a PSA 8 over $1,000 right now. Crazy to think. A year and a half ago, this card was sitting as a 10 at about 800. Now the 8 over 1,000. Crazy price increase here. Blue Eyes is absolutely on fire. Crazy. Then we have another 830. Asian English. PSA 9 Gaia. That was 528. That's a big number. That's big for a 9, because I think 9s are possible with that card. Yes, we know how few are graded, but still, that's a big number for me. A 10 Curse of Dragon, that's huge, too huge. This is a decent buy, the Dark Hole and the Maneater Bug. I think those two cards are still undervalued. Wavy print, 9 Exodia Head for about 400. Not a bad buy there. Let's see what we got. And here's a 9, okay? So we saw what the 8 sold for at just over $1,000. The 9, oops, let's go back here. 15. Okay, so it's a slightly better buy. Now, was this relisted? Oh, that also ended. And no longer available. Okay, well. Oh, well, I don't know what happened there, but still, the person that paid for that 8, oh, and here's a $2,000 Exodia Head. I mean, I believe that's the wavy print run, as a 10. No, it looks to be the regular print. So, price is through the roof. Guy of the Dragon Champion, 1.2, Flame Swordsman, 350. I mean, it just goes on and on with these cards. Gem Mint first print run, Dark Magician. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. This is a 10, so this should be $1,000. $1,000. That's not a bad price. Wow, that is. I mean, is that what they're going for? Have I missed it? Dark Magician, Dragon Cannon, Last Warrior, Red Eyes, amazing seller. All of it for 13? Huh? That's not a bad price. Wow. Metal Morph. Oh, and Maneater Bug and Red Eyes Black Metal for 13. Wow. Cancel my order, call me a scammer. I wonder if that's a guy. No, because that was over a year ago. Wow. Well, that's an interesting note there. And obviously, let's head back. Let's see the reason for the season here. Okay, is YuGiOh Blue Eyes first. LOB PSA 10. This is Gezi or Geezy, I don't know how to describe 35. Best offer, buy it now. It's pretty sick set, and that card is just wild, but, you know. Here's one, $69.99, Ideal Collectibles. the price of this card is through 156 watchers at $6,000. Unbelievable, everybody. Just phenomenal. I mean, here is a Gem Mint first edition. So this was the wavy print, okay, from Core TCG. PSA 10 wavy print. If you don't know what wavy print is, feel free to check out my video. 5,500. 55. And then this one was from Canada. This was the glossy print at 33 from Strictly Graded. Okay. So, still, having said that, I mean, this sold in December, so I'm thinking, and it was very, look at that. Look at the edge wear there. Supposedly, this was during the encapsulation process, not during the submission process, but still, I mean, if someone still paid 33 for this, fair to say, right now, a first edition PSA 10 Blue Eyes White Dragon LOB, either print, it's going to set you back $4 grand. I mean, minimum, I feel like, right? Because if the lowest option for you is 6 right now, then it's safe to assume someone could deal it for about 4 to 5, you know, because of the eBay fees and whatnot. Also, this video, YuGiOhcom, 2,000 subscribers, everybody. Check it out, YuGiOhcom. I just started this website. So, if you don't, if you want to learn more about Yu-Gi-Oh, old school Yu-Gi-Oh, we're trying to get a lot of these guys in here, kind of like an E4 from Pokemon, trying to get a forum here going. So, I started this, so keep an eye out. Check it out, YuGiOhcom. Okay, I just need to add that in there. I was going to announce it as a special 2,000 subscriber thing, but, yeah, whatever. I will probably make a separate video. Coming up next, let's look at Metal Raiders. Harpy Lady Sisters 112, Barrel Dragon will set you back about 200. Garnecia Elephantis, that's up a little bit. 1000 Dragon 534. Too expensive for me. Much too expensive. I think it's 4 to 450. 7 Tools, a good price at 110, that's fair. Karibo has gone berserk. I think that's overpaying. I think as a super, you should find it cheaper than 218. Horn of Heaven is a 943 fair. Okay, I was like, wait a second, $20 for Summon Skull. Let's see here. So Mirror Force about 350 to 4. Suijin 150, Suijin 975. Time Wizard at 400, I think one of the most underrated cards in all the game right now. Time Wizard, I could see exponentially going up. I mean, we look at prices of sealed product of this stuff through the roof. Time Wizard should not be 400. I think Time Wizard should be 5, 6 plus. Okay, so take that as you will. That was an OC 1000 Dragon for 290, so someone paid good for that one. Gate Guardian's up to about 5 to 6, possibly 7 on the high end, 5 to 7. I think Gate Guardian realistically is worth about $600. I think it's going to go up. We had that discussion on the forum at YuGiMon. Is Gate Guardian overrated? I think it's right where it should be. I think it's going to continue to steadily go up. Continued pricing of Metal Raiders boxes. Super high pricing. With that comes super high-end singles. This set is going to explode. It already has exploded, but specifically the supers as well. I think especially the nostalgic ones, like the Harpy Lady Sisters, like Time Wizard, like Mirror Force, those cards should be going up through the roof. I don't see that exponential growth for something like Barrel Dragon or Garnecia Elephantis or 7 Tools. I don't see it. Karibo is already too expensive. I think right now it's already a bit inflated. But having said that, the Mirror Force, the Time Wizard, the Gate Guardian, the Harpy Lady Sisters, the Summon Skull, they all, and Beast Skull Dragon, they all should be on their way up. So keep that in mind if you're looking to buy any Metal Raiders soon. They already have gone up, but I think there's still room for growth. So coming up next, Mrl Magic Ruler. Magic Ruler, what do we got here? An 8.5 Blue Eyes Toon at 110. I think Blue Eyes Toon has settled at 413. I think it's going to start going up now. I think that time is finally here where Magic Ruler starts to see a resurgence. Okay, we all know how much Magic Ruler was out there on the secondary market for a year or two, about a couple of years ago. There's a lot of it. But, having said that, Blue Eyes Toon, still super nostalgic. A lot of 10s, pop reports very high, but I think we're finally going to start to see it. We are. I mean, it was about 3 to 4. Now it's 4.13 on the last auction. Okay, but I think it could hit 5. I'm not saying massive, massive growth, but I'm saying enough. And I think the tunes are a good buy, too. Any of the tunes, the Tune Mermaid, the Tune World, the Tune Summon Skull, they are more expensive right now, but still, I think Serpent Knight's a little bit too pricey. Serpent Knight, too pricey for me. Just too pricey. Relinquished, not horrible. I think it's a little bit undervalued too, because there is the counterpart, which is the Starter Deck Pegasus version as an ultra rare, same thing, different code. But with that, I think it is a little bit undervalued. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Is there even a 10 out there? All right. See, I mean, you could get a 10. Buy now, best offer 233. Not a bad buy. Very nostalgic card. Yes, there is a counterpart. Did that affect the Red Eyes, though, from LOB? Absolutely not. Red Eyes PSA 10's about $1,600. PSA 9's $500. It shouldn't affect this either. I think at 230, could be a lot worse buys out there. Coming up next, Pharaoh Servant. We talked about this set in one of my other videos. Imperial Order still very high for me. I don't get it. I don't see the draw on Imperial Order. Jinzo PSA 6 107. Unbelievable there. I mean, for a 6. I mean, Jinzo has not flinched. Let's see what the misprint is here. Oh, it's a little ink. No one really cares about that. Yeah, no one wants that. Jinzo on fire, Buster Blader, Thousand Eyes Restrict, Legendary Fisherman, especially these two, Buster Blader and Thousand Eyes Restrict, very nostalgic, good cards. I'm not a big believer, though. In this set, aside from Jinzo, I'm not a big believer. 350, I think it could hit 450, it could hit 5. I know, in a year from now. It could. I'd bet against it, though. I would bet against it. I'd bet against that. I think Jinzo, as you can see, 635 in December. Jinzo still the much better option of any card in Pharaoh Servant. I would stay very, very weary of this set, considering how much product there was out there. I don't see it. Yes, the centering in the set is not the best. It kind of sucks. But stay weary. That's all I have to say. Coming up next, Veronica Ardian. A lot of people hyping this stuff, saying it's a set that's undervalued. I don't buy it. I don't buy that this set is undervalued. Before we delve into the PSA graded cards, let's look at the box. 24 count box at $415. And so logic would be saying, well, Tim, if it's $450 a box, why isn't this set undervalued? And that's a great point, because it's saying about $207 in ultra rare. If you get 2 ultras in a box, you're in essence paying $207 and a half for an ultra rare. $207.50 you're paying per ultra, possibly a secret, and 4 supers. So you're saying, well, I mean, these ultras are cheap. Don Zaloog is cheap. Mystical Knight of Jackal, cheap. Everything's so cheap, right? I just don't see the nostalgic value in this stuff. I don't. I can't see this. If Harpy Lady Sisters is about 110, give me Harpy Lady Sisters at 110 over $85 Mystical Knight of Jackal. You know? I just... Give me Relinquished for 230 rather than, you know, 3 of these Mystical Knight of Jackals. The only card I see actually potentially going up out of this whole set is Don Zaloog 122, because this is a card that had relevance in the game when people played. A lot of people did play it, and the artwork, to be honest, is pretty sick. So it does have at least meta playability, nostalgic factor to it. The rest of this stuff, not good. I mean, the rest of this stuff is Visor Shock was never anything worth anything. No one played it. I mean, Lava Golem, yes, cool, but that's already up. A 9 sold for 60. So, Rope of Life, I mean, cool card, but is it worth as a 9 $60? I don't think so. I think this set, trying to get hyped up, I'm not. I am not hyped up on it. Not even close. Coming up next, Invasion of Chaos. As we talked about, Chaos Emperor Dragon through the roof right now, for good reason. $760 for the last PSA 10 on PWCC. And one thing to note, Chaos Emperor Dragon, very off-centered, a lot of them. A lot of them very off-centered. Okay, and my goodness, this is a, what it sell for? They wanted $1,200 for the BLS Blackluster Soldier. Let's see what we got here. $1,000. I think that was a massive overpay. Where is it? $1,000 for this card. A 9 Dark Magician of Chaos, big money. A 10 Dark Magician of Chaos, a 9 Envoy of the Beginning for 2. This is one of those sets that's absolutely loaded. You can't go wrong. Honestly, undervalued Manticore Darkness. I think, why? Because the artwork is that good. I mean, the artwork is that phenomenal. And the boxes are not 400 like Veronica Ardian. They're 2,000. I mean, people are paying $20 for these supers, and they're paying $40 for a Gravekeeper's Chief. How does that make sense? Veronica Ardian supers, 30 to 40. Invasion of Chaos supers, 20. Right? I mean, granted, this was November 20th, right? But it doesn't make sense to me. A much, much better set to buy Invasion of Chaos if you can get them cheap. For sure. For sure. I mean, Insect Princess 9, $5.50. What do you have to lose? This is a card, too. Dedication Through Light and Darkness, PSA 9. I mean, why is this card not through the roof? I mean, it's got Dark Magician of Chaos, an amazing artwork. It's a super rare. It's a foil from Invasion of Chaos, first edition, 9 for $7. I mean, I get it. No one played with it. No one used it. But Visor Shock for 70. This for 7. 10 of these, or one Visor Shock and 10. I don't know. The only thing that's keeping PGD or Veronica Ardian prices high are set collectors. And once they get their fill, have fun selling it. Coming up next, LOD. Oh, my goodness. Oh, dude, we love it. This guy was selling gem copies. So much for that. Dark Ruler, Hades or Hades, 110, first edition. Population 5. This is the Tyrant Dragon, so that's very interesting to me. What do we have here? 280. 280 for Tyrant Dragon. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good price, but it's worth it. I do agree with the LOD. The LOD hollows a lot of people are high on. I think they're a little high right now, but I do agree that they haven't gone up substantially aside from Injection Fairy Lily. Marauding Captain, Yamada Dragon, some of these other cards, Exiled Force, low pop, some of these other cards could be higher, I think. I mean, a year ago, I said way overpriced. Now, could be higher. Because the prices have remained stable. And that's the time to really get into it. Because the prices have really flatlined, if not gone down. So, considering how hard LOD is to grade, it could be the time now. It's a short window. That's my opinion on it. Obviously, Injection Fairy Lily, I'd say conservatively $1,000. First edition. Yatagarasu, about $6. So, let's see here. What else do we have? Let's go on to Dark Crisis. Okay, Dark Crisis. We have some big money cards. We have Exodia Necros at $275. I always thought this card was so undervalued. It seems to start to get going now. We're seeing a lot of sales for Necros as of late for bigger money. So, for some reason, this card was sitting very cheaply, and even the raw copy is cheap. That's going to disappear soon. In my opinion, I think this card is finally taking off, and it's just going to get more expensive. Judgment of Anubis, very expensive. Shinato was a shock at 188. I didn't think it would go that high. Vampire Lord, a 10 at 300. About what it should go for. Possibly a little more than it should go for. Down the road, I think in a year, and 2 years, and 3 years, this card is going to be much higher than that, though. But it's going to take a while, I think, for that card specifically. You know, just the usual here. Nothing else too crazy from that set. Coming up next, okay, Magician's Force. Obviously, this set is known for Dark Magician Girl and Dark Paladin. XYZ Dragon Cannon, also a key card. But as you can see, the Dark Paladin, way up. 150 for a 9, about 450 to 500 for a 10 now. Dark Magician Girl, $2.8 thousand. $2.8 thousand. A 9 is about 7. A Pop 4 PSA 10 Diffusion Wave Motion 600. Only in blisters. Okay? And this card, would it sell for 4 grand? 4.5? 5? The Corrected Paladin? In my opinion, the Holy Grail. Forget everything else. Well, just relatively speaking. And get yourself a Paladin while you can. Get yourself a Corrected Paladin. Get yourself an Error Paladin. Get yourself all Paladins. Stock up on Paladins. Because Paladins, especially the Error art, everyone's looking at this big monster Paladin. But everyone forgets that the Error art is still as a 10-450. That is not that bad. That is not that bad in the grand scheme of things. That and Time Wizard, the 2 Ultras to buy right now, in my opinion, for sure. We're seeing Luster Dragon getting high numbers. A lot of these cards from this set are getting high numbers. Spell Canceller at 102 with 50 bids. So people are recognizing this is a set that's very, very expensive, very difficult to come by. Why is Invasion of Chaos not like this? I don't know. Now's your chance. Ancient Sanctuary. PSA. Let's see. We had a 102 sale for the Stream of Destruction. I always thought that card should be more expensive, guys. This card I feel like should be more, even raw. What is it? $15. We're seeing some spikes in Ancient Sanctuary now as prices for boxes are way up. Blowback Dragon, Spirit of the Pharaoh, End of Anubis at 105. They're just, again, not that nostalgic. The most nostalgic cards are Burst Stream of Destruction, Enemy Controller, and Dark Magic Attack, in my opinion. So I would stock up on the big 3, as I say there, if you can, because let's look at the box price. I mean, you're seeing first edition boxes at $240, $270. You know, but unlike Veronica Ardian, I think, oh, here's 8 available at $400. I think that those cards, the Enemy Controller, the Burst Stream of Destruction, and Dark Magic Attack, undervalued for sure. And now we go on to some other older sets, which we're going to talk about in a separate video. We actually are 30 minutes long. Could you believe this? We're going to cut it, talk about it, upload another video in a few days in regards to these sets. See ya.